Welcome back to Introduction to Engineering Design. This is Module 4.1G, question number 3. This asks you for a most efficient model, and I am going to go ahead and use a combination of additive and subtractive. So we'll go ahead and do an additive model that will build this overall shape. We'll then cut a hole through the middle of it. So I can do it in 2 steps. Now notice that the dimensions here are in millimeters. Unlike the prior ones, my dimensions were in inches. So in this model, we want to go ahead and go File, New Part, but change the default. So File, New Part. And we've not done a lot of this. In the lower right-hand corner where my cursor is flashing, I'll zoom in. So you can see that if I click on this IPS, I can change to MMGS. Once I do that change, I'm in millimeters. I can also edit my document units. And I'm not going to change those because those look fine. All right, I'll get rid of the zoom here. So now I'm in millimeters, MMGS, millimeters, grams, and seconds are my units. So let's go ahead and start to make this extrusion. So I choose Extrude Boss Base, right, Shows. And I'm going to go ahead and sketch my object. And I'm going to do a little combination here. The first thing I'm going to do is I want to sketch out just a simple rectangle. And this simple rectangle is going to be the shape of the outside of the object without that cut on it. So I'll do that. I'm going to choose it to be 60 by 40. Super quick, super easy. I'll just dimension this. 40 tall, 60 wide. And from here, what I can do is I can actually put another rectangle that's 15 by, looks like 10, 25 on each side, so be 35. But I'm going to choose another rectangle. And I'm going to drop it coincident on the top. So you can see there's a super quick way to start to get an easy shape in here. So I'm going to make this 10, this 25, and this distance 15. Now you look at that and you say, that does not look quite like my object, but it really does. What I really all have to do here is hit my Trim Entities button. So I'm going to use that Trim Entities button, and I'm going to go ahead and left click and drag through that line, and you'll notice I just got my perfect shape that I wanted. So I just trimmed away that one line. So that's another tool you can try out, is the Trim Entities tool. So now I've made my shape. Super quick, super easy. Exit my trim tool, exit my sketch, and I want to extrude this 30 millimeters. I'll change directions, type in 30, and accept it. Now, if I didn't change my units, I could type in inches, I could type in 30 space mm, and it will do the conversion, but it will display all of your dimensions in inches. Highly urge you to not do that because it's very confusing very quick. Next thing I have to do is cut a little hole. That hole happens to be a rectangle, and you'll notice that it says the hole goes all the way through the part. So right there, I'll get that question a few times. So I'm going to start with a sketch. I'm going to place it on that end and sketch out a rectangle. And I'll do a corner rectangle. What the heck? Doesn't really make any difference. As I look at the dimensions of this rectangle, you can see that it's offset from the edge 3 millimeters. It's 15 millimeters wide, 10 millimeters tall, offset from the bottom by 5. So 3, 15, 10, and 5. We'll put those in. Smart dimension, edge to edge is 3. Side to side is 15. Top to bottom is 10. And bottom to the bottom edge is 5. Fully defined. Exit my sketch. And now what I want to do is I'm going to highlight the sketch, go to Features, and say Extruded Cut. Now simply, I know this goes all the way through, so I'm not going to make it hard. I'm just going to go through all. It'll do the math for me. The other cool thing is if this body changes length, it continues to cut all the way through it. So you got to think about your design intent as we're doing this. So I'll choose through all. Accept it, and you'll see I've got a hole that goes all the way through the object. At this point, I'm done with this model. Here's my part. Here was my drawing it was based on. Save this as 4.1G Question 3 and submit that in its own module in Canvas. Thanks for watching.